Do not judge each day by the harvest that you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. I'm going to say it again. Write it down. Do not judge each day by the harvest that you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. When I think about this statement, I think about the great chiropractic profession. I think about all the leaders, all the chiropractors that have come before, the 4 generations before me in this profession. I think about what seeds they have planted that have made a difference in this world. When I think about that statement, I also think about B.J. Palmer. B.J. is known for many of his wisdom, but one that really resonates with me is one that goes like this. Where the people have no vision, where there is no vision, the people perish. We never know how far-reaching something that we think, say, or do today will affect the lives of millions tomorrow. It is better to light one candle than to curse the darkness. What was B.J. Palmer thinking about when he made this statement? Was he concerned about the harvest, the millions of lives that could be impacted by chiropractic? I don't think so. I think he was thinking about the seeds. For in that statement, he planted seeds in our minds. Think about this morning. What seeds have you planted in your thoughts? What seeds have you planted in your peers today through your actions or your words or your behaviors? Are they seeds that are capable of affecting millions of lives tomorrow? Think about the people who planted a seed in you when it comes to chiropractic. I'm here today to remind you about your highest nature and about the poetic possibility that is built within inside you. I don't know your dreams. I have no ideas to your desires. Heck, I don't even know you personally. But I do know what you're made of. It is pure possibility. You have a body that is made for power. You have a mind that is made for visions. You have a heart that is built for love. You have a spirit that is designed for wow. And you have hands that have been made to heal. And so as you go throughout the hours left today, let go of who you were to become all that you are. As you become all that you are, you start tapping into your core. I like to call it your organic core. Your body, your mind, your spirit, your heart, and your hands. When you tap into that core, and that core stays free from artificial or synthetic influences, it grows organically. Your true self, your authentic self comes out. Think of organic farming, and I have the pleasure that I get to work with an organic farm every day. That organic farm happens because people put effort into it. Organic does not happen by neglect. You must work at it. You must add nutrients to make things grow. I know that organic farms get better every single year if they're maintained properly. The yields get higher, get better. They produce more. Same for you. If you stay true to your organic core and you keep growing that without synthetic influences, you will grow and get better every year. Now let's tie leadership into that. I define leadership as two words: courage and capacity. Leaders have the courage to take the first step. They also have the capacity to influence thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in others for the greater good. So when you tap into your organic core and you start building courage and capacity, you become an organic leader. And to me, an organic leader is a transformational catalyst. You become a catalyst in your community, in your patient population, on your campus. As a catalyst, you create what I call a cascade. Because of that interaction with you, you have changed somebody's life. You have planted new seeds that have altered the direction of somebody, a cascade effect. Organic leaders are transformational catalysts. Chiropractors are transformational catalysts that can change people's lives every day. So we think about organic leadership, and I always think about the laws of the harvest. And I have 3 laws that I want to touch on today with you. The first law of the harvest is the law of change. Change is constant. Change is rapid sometimes. It might even be threatening to you, maybe even frightening. Change can be complex, but change happens all the time. You need to learn to embrace change. You need to learn to cultivate change. On the organic farm, change happens every day. Who knows what the weather's going to bring? Who knows what bugs are flying through to destroy some crops? What animals might be there? Change happens on a regular basis. In your life, change happens every day as well. And think about your patients. I like to call them PPs, your potential patients. What changes are they going through every day? I want to tell you the story of a woman who experienced significant change in her life. She was educated in medicine and osteopathy. And she did that because she had a 20-year invalidism, as she called it, that she couldn't get rid of. And she experienced what she calls a loss for the love of life. And that is what drove her to see a chiropractor. Her name is Alma Arnold. Alma, in 1901, went to visit Dr. Langworthy in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And she received an adjustment, a series of adjustments that were very violent because that's how they were delivered back in the day. But they worked. Dr. Langworthy was a catalyst that created a cascade in Alma that changed her life. So much so that she enrolled in the Langworthy School of Chiropractic in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. She graduated in 1902. She moved to New York State, and we believe today that she was the first chiropractor in the state of New York. Now, her cascade resulted in her creating a new technique called painless adjusting. People started talking about her, started criticizing her. Dee Dee Palmer sent her a letter asking her about painless adjusting. Matter of fact, in 1910, in Dee Dee's, the chiropractor's adjuster, he has a couple paragraphs talking about Dr. Alma Arnold and this new technique that he's looking to learn about. Well, Alma wrote him a letter in July of 1910 and talks about why she created painless adjusting. That letter didn't get into the Green Book, but it was published in a book that she wrote in 1918. The book is called The Triangle of Health. And on the cover, she has a triangle, and embossed in it, mind, body, spirit. Some people call that the biopsychosocial model of health today. The first research paper on the body, mind, spirit, and biopsychosocial health was written in 1977. She publishes a book in 1918. Talk about somebody that was a catalyst for change. In her letter to Dee Dee Palmer, she talks about her 20-year invalidism that she had that could not get better through medicine or osteopathy. But with chiropractic care, it changed her life. And she said in that letter to him that she also discovered if you combine it with dietetics, you get even better results. That was in 1910. Half of her book in 1918 is all about nutrition. It's amazing. In 1918, when she wrote her book, she now completed her, what I call blueprint or model of chiropractic care. She took care of the patient with chiropractic care, removing the subluxations, but she also included what she called hydrotherapy, hygiene, mental sciences, which today we call mindfulness or positive psychology, and dietetics. And together, that created change in her patients. She was so influential that one of her patients was Clara Barton. Clara was the founder of the American Red Cross. Dr. Arnold eventually became president of Columbia College of Chiropractic in New York in the 1930s. Think about the change that she had to go through. But thank goodness there was a chiropractor there who was the catalyst that created this cascade. The second law of the harvest is the law of changelessness. The law of changelessness. These are universal principles. We know in farming, the sun rises in the morning, it sets at night. We know that you plant a seed in soil, it will grow. How good it grows depends on how healthy the soil is. We know when somebody presents themselves to you, they have a spine, they have a nervous system. Those are changeless principles. But also we know that these people are organisms that have the ability to self-regulate and self-heal. Those are changelessness principles that we deal with in chiropractic every day. And you're being dipped in those principles this weekend and throughout your career at Life University, and all the doctors can tell you that you got to dip in those changelessness principles every day. The third law of the harvest is the law of choice. It has been said that the only way to change who you are today to where you want to be tomorrow is by the books you read, the people you meet, and the dreams that you dream. I don't agree. If you want to change who you are, you need to do it by making better choices. Choice is a fundamental leadership activity. Choice happens when you have a stimulus and you have a response. In between the two is your choice. And if you're tapped into your organic core and you have strong courage and capacity of planting seeds, how powerful does that response become? Every stimulus has a response, and you have the ability to choose your choice to that. I've made a lot of poor choices in my life. I was the oldest of 8 kids. My choices growing up were made for me. So when I had the chance to go to University of Nebraska, to college, I couldn't get out the door fast enough. I get involved in a fraternity, having the time of my life. The end of my first semester, I ended up with a 1.5 GPA. Because of my choices. 2 years later, my grades got better, and I had an experience, a catalyst. I had just gotten back to the fraternity house because one of my brothers punched a hole in the wall and broke his hand. This is about 1 o'clock in the morning. Walk back in the fraternity house, and this party's going on. I go down to the basement of this party. We got this whirlwind of activity, and I'm just froze. We got a band playing great music. We got people over here doing quarters. You guys remember the game quarters? Yeah. Off body parts. My buddy Eric back here biting the head off a piranha. And I'm froze. I'm thinking, what have I become? What have my choices done to me? I am not the results that I was generating at that point. I took control. I started making better choices. I decided to get into chiropractic college. Actually went to school with my father and one of my brothers. To get in, I had to take 36 hours of the sciences, biology, chemistry, all that. I decided to apply myself. I ended that 36 hours in 16 weeks with a 4.0 GPA because of the choices I was making. I graduated from chiropractic college, got into banking and baseball by accident. But I was always part of the chiropractic profession. The choices I was making kept me connected. I had a mentor of a bank that we grew to be $7.2 billion in assets. During that time, I was elected to the board of trustees of a multi-campus chiropractic college. And during that time, I was preparing myself to be an administrator at that college once we sold the bank. And then I get a phone call from a gentleman 4 years ago who is leading a company that is a catalyst for change in health in the United States. And when he calls and asks you to come work for him, the choice was easy. And that brings me here to you today to share with you the laws of the harvest and what it is to be an organic leader. If you embrace these laws, change, changelessness, and choice, you tap into your inner core, your organic core, you develop courage, and you develop capacity to plant better seeds, you will affect the lives of millions of people tomorrow. That's what this is all about. So, I will ask you to sit up straight in your chair. Put both feet flat on the floor. Put your hands in a comfortable position. Take a big, deep breath in through your nose and let it out through your mouth. And as we think about your organic core and affecting the lives of millions tomorrow, I'm going to finish with a poem. Take another big, deep breath in through your nose. Let it out through your mouth. Close your eyes and listen to these words. The poem is called The Day's Result. Is anybody happier because you passed their way? Does anyone remember that you spoke to them today? The day is almost over and its toiling time is through. Is there anyone to utter now a kindly word of you? Can you say tonight, with the day that's slipping fast, that you helped a single brother of the many that you passed? Is a single heart rejoicing over what you did or said? Does the man whose hopes were fading now with courage look ahead? Did you waste the day or lose it? Was it well or poorly spent? Did you leave a trail of kindness or a scar of discontent? As you close your eyes in slumber, do you think that God would say, you have earned one more tomorrow by the work you did today? Thank you.
Stop.